So that's another opportunity that I had, and I took advantage of it. And I was like, dang, man, I'm building my portfolio. Something I've always wanted to do. I'm doing it. So that leads me to another opportunity with Sonny. He was doing a different thing with someone else. So he was like, hey, I got this film from a guy on the west side. His name's Black Chapo. He wrote a book, wants to turn it into a movie. I want you to come film the auditions. So I filmed like 50 people. That was pretty cool. Met the whole crew. Got more experience behind the scenes. Add that to the resume. And he was like, I want you to be a part of filming this movie with me, Chris. I said, what, really? He said, yeah. So found locations where we're going to film. Done a lot, right? So we're filming it. It took probably, I was on set about a week. So I'm the slate guy, the mic guy, a couple times the cameraman, giving ideas, because Sonny was the director. He was like, what do you think would be a good idea? I'm like, well, if we do this or do that, that might be a good idea. So he took advice from me, and I have experience directing with him. And on one of the days, they're like, yeah, we're going to be filming with White Boy Rick. He's going to be part of the movie. So I got to be with White Boy Rick. At the time, I smoked weed. Smoked some of White Boy Rick's weed that he was promoting. Pretty cool. Chopped it up with the dude. Talked to him about his life, and he talked to me, gave me some wise words and encouragement. I was like, hey, Mr. Rick. He said, don't call me. Or no, I said, thank you, sir. He said, don't call me sir. He said, my grandfather called me that. Just call me Rick. I was like, all right, Rick. And was on set for a couple hours talking to him. Got a photo with him. Great guy. Now, for a lot of people who don't know who White Boy Rick is, they made a film about him when he was younger. Got caught up in some stuff, selling fucking drugs and shit. But hey, he's a great guy. He was in prison for a long time. Kind of a fucked up story. Excuse my language, but great guy. I met him personally, talked to him. Can't wait to see him again in the future. And, yeah, met White Boy Rick. Okay, hell yeah, that's pretty sweet. And if you check my Instagram out, got a photo on there of him. So I was just supposed to be behind the scenes. So in this film, they said, hey man, we need another person for this fucking, excuse my language, we need another person for this scene. Do you want to be in it, Chris? I said, well, hell yeah. I said, well, what's dialogue? They said, oh, you don't need no dialogue, just come up with something on the spot. So it was like a dice scene, and I was just pretty much said, hey, run me my money, Buster. And they kept it in the film. But I don't know if the film ever got released. I'm not too sure. I'd have to talk to my boy Sonny about that. But hey, that's under my belt. More experience. More to add to my portfolio. So, fast forward a couple months. DR2 reached out. Or no, actually they didn't reach out. They were posting an advertisement in their new show called Southwest High series. And the three that were a part of that was Dennis Reed, he was directing it, Ty Mopkins, and who is this? Oh my god, can't believe I forgot his name. Jalen Rose. How did I forget that? Well, Jalen Rose went to Southwestern High School in Southwest Detroit, played basketball for them, was really good, went to Michigan University, played basketball, got drafted, I believe, to the Indiana Pacers, and played for a bunch of teams. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And I was like, man, you're gonna film a show in my neighborhood, or about my neighborhood, and I'm from Southwest. I'm really from there. I know my neighborhood, I know the history, I know the school, my family went to the school. I got to be a part of this. I said, how are you going to make a show and I'm not going to be in it, especially if it's about some history in my neighborhood. I was born and raised in Southwest. So I reached out like, hey, I'm from Southwest Detroit. I would really love to be part of this. I know the history. Is there any way I can get in? And they said, yeah, definitely. Come to the office, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Went there, chopped it up, got the location. Actually, the scenes that were filmed for the show they're all over. But the scenes that I was in was at Jalen Rose's, I believe it's a high school. Yeah. I don't know if it's all grade, like middle school, high school, but I know it's a high school for sure. So went there, did the scenes, took a photo with Jalen Rose, met him, told him my family went to school when he was there, whatever, shit like that. Got to quit cussing, but my bad. So I did that. And the woman on set who I really got along with, Sonia, was like, hey, I know these other people that are directors and stuff. If you want, I know you love acting, you want to get more on your resume, I can give you their contact and tell them about you, and you could probably get an opportunity with them too. So I said, yeah, I'll do that. So I met this guy named Robbie, I believe that was his name. A little bit of a smaller set. I don't really know the movie. I don't know if it ever got released or not, but hey, it's something on my resume. I'm building my portfolio, It's the getting your 10,000 hours in for your craft, learn it, the basics, and build on. So I did that. It was pretty cool. I think I got paid $75 for a couple hours. Sweet. I'm not complaining. Getting paid to do something I love. Now, fast forward, I think a couple months. Get an opportunity to probably do my biggest role yet for a guy named, I forgot it, but he wrote a book. He was a coach, and the movie is called Deep on Tubi. I wish I remember his name right now, but I'll put all the links in the description. So got into that. Great. Had like 2 scenes. I was talking more, so that's on Tubi. So that was probably November, December. And I was doing bar back. I was a bar back downtown at the Well. Met a lot of people down there. Great. Loved the people I work with. Downtown was sweet. Had a great time. And I was like, man, what am I going to do with my life, Like, I know I want to do acting and photography, but I need to get me like a job where I can stack my bread, make more money. How can I get me a solid foundation to benefit my future self? Because I wanted to get into real estate. I wanted to go to college and do all that stuff. I said, what could I do to possibly help me build off of that, to have a foundation and build up, right? So it's January, end of January, February comes around. I turned 21. January came around, right? Beginning of February, my cousin was killed. He was murdered on the west side of Detroit. And I was like, you know what, man? I'm just going to do what I said I was going to do a long time ago. They asked me in kindergarten, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said 2 things. A movie star and a Marine. And I was like, complimenting on it. I was going to join at 19, didn't do it. But if I would have joined at 19, I wouldn't have had none of the acting experience that I have now. So, I was watching a video. It said top 10 actors you didn't know was in the military. It got to the number 1 actor on the list. One of my favorite comedians, Rob Riggle. He retired as a lieutenant colonel in the United States Marine Corps. I didn't know him. He was a Marine doing comedy and making movies. I was like, wow, he had sort of the same goals as me, I want to be a Marine. But I didn't know you could be an actor and do all that. I said, dang, if he can do it, I could do it. So I quit smoking weed, quit hanging out with people that was just no good for me. I was stagnant. Wasn't going to go nowhere. It was going to be a little rough. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give this military thing a try. So February 19th, or February 12th or 13th, something like that, went to the Marine Corps office because my cousin came into town. I said, hey, I know you said you wanted to join the Marine Corps a while ago. Are you still interested in? Now, when I was in kindergarten, who was sitting next to me when they asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? My cousin. We both said the same thing. We wanted to be in the military when we grew up, but I also said I wanted to be a movie star. So, he's a Marine. And he's already in, right? So I said, wow, we said that when we were kids. He did it. I did this acting stuff, and I still want to do it. Let me try this thing out. So went to the office, passed ASVAB, everything went good. February 19th, I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. Fast forward, April, had to go on a away party. I was gonna ship off in July to August, and they got pushed back. I had some personal problems going on, whatever. Kept pushing the date back. So September 8th is when I shipped off to recruit training, Parris Island, South Carolina. Whoa. Graduated December 5th, 2025. I was in 3rd recruit. I was in 3rd Battalion, Lima Company. Some people said I couldn't do it. A lot of people said I could. I did it. Went to MCT January for a month. That shit sucked. Not like the training or whatever. It's really called Marine count training because you count every day. Everywhere you count probably like 1,000 times a day. You got to get accountability because they don't want people running off or stuff like that. People go missing over the years, right? So it was so cold. MCT was freezing. It was like 10 degrees out. For some reason, North Carolina got a whole foot of snow.